Hello lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. Now today I think I've got something really special to share because I have been sent a preview deck from a wonderful creator. Her name is Daven Lee. She reached out to me to ask if I would be interested to look at a 17 card preview of a 56 card deck. So I had a look at her work and her website and the deck itself as it stands now, and oh my gosh, it really touched a part of me. So I don't always say yes to these things. In fact, I don't often say yes, as you'll know if you've watched my channel, but this one was really special and I wanted to bring the preview to you and share the work and share my thoughts on it and why I've said yes to previewing this deck. Now the deck is called the Power of Yin Oracle deck, created by Daven Lee, illustrated by D. Yale Bernhard. Now it didn't surprise me when I looked into this work that Daven has a lifetime of working within the realm of somatic healing. So somatic trauma healing has been really vital for me, for my healing, and it just explained to me straight away as soon as I read that why I was so pulled to this work and so pulled to the imagery and the text being used. So somatic trauma healing is all about getting more out of your head, becoming more aware of your body, exercising, sensory feeling, movement, grounding, all of those felt sense areas. For me, two books that were fundamental in developing that idea was this famous book, The Body Keeps Score, but most importantly this book by Peter A. Levine, Waking the Tiger, Healing Trauma. This is all about somatic healing and the felt sense, and this book in particular was really moved the needle for me with healing. So when I saw this imagery and felt how it affected me and how it keyed into these areas of my path, it didn't surprise me at all. I read that Daven's practice and work was in that same field of somatic healing. So before I even knew that about Daven and I first looked at the artwork, for me it immediately screamed to me of that embodiment, being embodied, being in your body, and it resonated deeply immediately with me. You can see this imagery is very earthy, it's very body centered, but the body also becomes part of the background, so you don't know where the body ends and the outside world begins. And for me that really does speak to me of learning to get out of your head and into your body, which is vital for healing. But then I began to read her words about this deck. She says that it's a deck all about power, but a different kind of power, the power of yin. So what does that mean? Well, in this day and age we've learned that power is about being in charge, overpowering, controlling people, being the one making the decisions, coercing people to do your bidding. It's definitely a power in the past that has nullified me and made me less than and caused great trauma within my body. So it's not that type of power. This deck and the Power of Yin talks about the inherent power within us that we all carry as unique souls. It's a much more gentle power. Daven says of the Power of Yin that this power is different from the one that we have become accustomed to. It is not coercive, dominating or exploitative. It is not based on scarcity and false limitations. This is a power in harmony with nature and life itself. It is a healing and creative power, timeless and abundant, while being subtle and often invisible. And for me, that discussion about power resonated so deeply with the journey of healing that I've been on. A recognition of one type of power that is coercive, doing damage, being able to wake up to that, to declare your own sovereignty and to be brave enough to walk away, and then stepping onto this spiritual journey in order to grab onto a different sort of power that's within. I think for many that would deem their spiritual walk a witchcraft walk, that's very much part of it. It's about learning to ground, about connecting with nature and connecting with your own inherent power that is more in harmony with nature. So my initial reaction to this artwork absolutely played out into the words that I then read of Daven's about the deck, and it just made my soul sing that the artist has captured the message of embodiment and a gentler power within, and a different way to know power so clearly within these images. It's a very grounding, embodied deck. So I think this would be a deck that would speak to anybody that has known coercive, controlling power and has stepped away into something new. And it takes a while to get out of your head and into a more grounded state, especially if you've walked a path where you have been controlled and dominated by that harsh, ugly power and become more codependent and people-pleasing. Codependence and people-pleasing pushes you into your head. I've said many a time on this channel that at times on this spiritual walk I felt like just ahead because I cannot get out of my head, and it's because you're trained to stay in your head, to watch everybody around in order to keep safe, and you in turn become controlling as well. You have to control events, the way timelines play out, the way events play out, in order to control the reactions of the dominators around you in order to keep safe. I did that for years. I felt like my life was like a game of chess where I had to try and be 6 or 7 moves in front of everybody just to try and control the narrative, to stay safe, to work out how manipulators and abusers were going to change the narrative to attack me. I was always trying to stay in front of that. Life was a game of chess, and that pushes you into your head, which is very much not what this artwork represents. This artwork for me represents the place that I'm trying to get back to. I'm trying to get back into my body. I am still opening the door for these monsters, and it is still pushing me back into my head. It takes time, and I think this deck is a beautiful tool to help with that journey of getting out of your head and back into your body. I think this deck with its keywords and its images would help anybody to get to know where their edges are, to rebuild their edges, rebuild their boundaries of their body. My body feels like my last challenge area. It has become, I'm not going to say a battleground, but a place that refuses to give up its taught safety that isn't really safety. It's trapdoors where the monsters are still getting in. I feel like this deck with its doorways to real power that's inherent in you could really help with those final trapdoors. We're told about this deck that it's a creative power that's timeless and abundant, subtle and often invisible. innate and nuanced. This is the power that's within us to heal. And that's what I felt when I first saw the artwork. I felt that it was a depiction of that innate, subtle, gentle power that I'm still trying to finally access after years of healing and slowly becoming more embodied. It's going to be a 56 card deck. It's currently on Kickstarter, and I'll put all the links in it for that, because I think it's a really important deck with a beautiful message that's worth sharing. As we speak, there are 34 days to go as of filming this. I'm going to try and get this video up today. 34 days to go on the Kickstarter. It's just under halfway funded, so it does need more eyes on it. So I hope this video will help, because I'd love to see this sort of work out in our spiritual realm. The deck should be ready by late spring of 2023. And there is a very transparent website of Daven's where she shows all of the cards as they are being produced, so there's extra cards there to go and look at. Now when I got these cards, I realized that the backs are color coded, and there were also these symbols on the cards, and I wondered what these symbols meant, whether they meant anything, and they do. Look, you can see there are two the same there, the zigzaggy line. The decks are actually split into different sections, so you can see the different sets here. You enter either through the cards, the body, or longing. They're portals into what actually is a journey. It's a journey with the aim of getting you proficient in the ways of your personal yin, so things like grounding, embodiment, cultivation, guidance, manifestation, intuition. It's a journey of discovery, finding out about our most precious resources, ways to protect ourselves with the guardians of our yin power, and how to harmonise our energies with true yang. We're told that it's a journey where we will become adept at navigating the absolutes and the realms of yin, and where we'll finally be brought back home to ourselves as an expression of the divine. That sounds like some pretty cool healing journey to me. So it really is a journey deck through energy, through power, through grounding, through getting to know yourself and finally getting in touch with your innate powers. I love some of the card names. You can see how if you sit and meditate and work with a card, you would explore many aspects of yourself that would really help you to feel like you finally got to know yourself and embodied yourself and you're in your body. Now I know the card stock is going to be different from this. Daven has said it's going to be much better quality card stock. It's matte card stock. It will stay matte, but it is going to be thicker card stock than this. And the message is on the back. There is no back to the card. You've got the writing on one side, you've got the image on the other, and for this deck I think that works brilliantly. She says that the writing is kept relatively open. It's not prescriptive, because at the end of the day all of our own unique energies and powers are different. She says that sometimes the text can be whispering and ethereal, other times it's more of a command for energy, depending on the card. So the tone of the text changes, and that's done on purpose, and it's kept relatively open on purpose. So you're not going to be told you must do this if you pull this card. It's not one of those decks. It's incredibly poetic. There is an awful lot in there that you could work through, whether it be meditation or path working, or just journaling around keywords on there, or thinking, what does this mean for you, or what could it mean for you? I mean, this one that I've just pulled, which is called Guidance, it says the muse, the angels, God, your higher self, your spiritual guardians, loved ones on the other side, an animal presence, You aren't meant to do it alone. A sudden insight, a clear direction, a nudge, a surprising synchronicity, a delightful outcome. They are just waiting for you to ask. Ask for help, ask for ideas, ask for a direction, ask for a miracle. So that's the back of the card to do with guidance, and it just gives so many different options, including all the different language of what you might view guidance as. Loved ones from the other side, or animals, or your higher self, or God, or the angels, or the muse. It's all there, and it's incredibly open for you to do your own work with, and I love it for that. I love it for the way that the poetic text works with the imagery. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn my camera around. I'm going to show you the 17 cards I've got, and I'm going to read some of the backs just to give you an idea of the way the imagery and the text works together, because I just think it's really magical. The body, the soles of these feet connect me to earth. Breath enlivens here. There is my beating heart between my life-nourishing breasts. There is the wonder of my sex hidden inside me. My womb, the source of creation. My body's mystery draws me in, baffles me, awakens me, and ultimately guides me home to my source. My body is the portal to my power. Self-reverence, you are holy. Feel that in the firmament of your bones, the landscape of your organs, the rivers of your blood, you are of the sacredness of life. You are all of it. Create an altar to yourself. Bow in, tend and care for the temple of yourself as you would a holy thing. See yourself as the divine sees you, and rest in the simplicity and self-evidence of it. Sensitivity, the quivering hide of a horse attuned, the nose of a dog catching scent, the delicacy of a bird twitching and quick, the statue stillness of a deer. So too your precious sensitivity. Let yourself become soft and your skin permeable. Connect with your pulsing heart, open to love and pain. Awaken your subtle senses. What do you feel? What does it mean? How does your sensitivity guide you? Language of the body. Listen as she speaks to you. You may not know at first what she is trying to say. Listen anyway. She may not be articulate, but she is fluent. Her language is not linear, but it is precise. She has her own signals, dialect, tone and grammar. This is your original language. Listen, trust and heed. Embodiment. Come into this body. Here you will find everything you need. Access to source, the tools to heal, your way of knowing, pleasure. Yes, you will suffer in this form. There are times when you will jump out of this body and stay away for a long time. She will always be waiting for you, waiting in the wisdom of her ways, blood, organs, bone, heart, nerves, brain, eyes, ears, breath, vehicle, vessel, instrument, channel. Welcome in, welcome home. Grounding. Come into the deep quiet of the earth. Become like the tree. Grow your roots down into the soil, down through the layers to the core of her. Feel her existential stability. It is yours too. Here you can breathe. Here you can feel. You can know from a rooted place. From here you can grow tall enough to touch the heavens. You can expand your branches in all directions. You can become tremendous and mighty. This is your yin source, the very ground beneath you. Self-cultivation. Tend the resplendent garden of yourself. Cultivation is your practice, a loving self-discipline. Refine the raw and wild. Hone your essence. Weed the garden, rake the soil, prune, feed, protect. Train and guide, select and harvest. Bring forth your sweetest fruits, most nutritious grains, robust vegetables. Cultivation is an act of self-reverence. The harvest, your gift back to life. Non-negotiables. This is where you draw the line. This is where you do not flex or bend, twist or splinter. This is the branch that is connected right to the core of you. It shall not be pruned. This is the source of your sacred no. It is part of your inalienable essence. Defend and uphold it with your life. Celebrate, love and revere it. This is you. Integrity. This is your intricate and evolving truth of many colours. Weave all these colours of you together into one whole cloth. The shadow and the shining, the failure and the wisdom, the barren and the replete. Step forward and accept this many-coloured cloth woven from the fibres of your being. Your vow. Your soul is asking you for a vow whispered in its secret language. You may hear your vow echoed on the wind or moving with the current of the river. You may see it across the face of the moon or feel it in the heartbeat of a wild animal. It is yours and yours alone. It is your majesty. Declare it and save your own life. That's it, guys. That is the preview cards for the Power of Yin Oracle. I'll put all links down below. Like I said, I've only received this preview just if I was interested in the work, which I am. I've not been paid for this review. The opinions are totally my own, and literally I've just been sent these 17 cards, but I just think the work is gorgeous, so I did decide to share this with you today. Just think that artwork, there is just so much there to work with. As with the messages and the text, there's so much there to work with. This is a healing path that I know, getting out of your head into your body. This is a path that I know, so I know that this work is needed. So thank you so much. Thank you to Daven for sending me this gorgeous preview of this wonderful deck. I do hope that it makes its goal on Kickstarter. I think the work is wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing it with me. I really appreciate the chance to have a look at it first. Thank you guys for watching too. Let me know what you think. I think it's a really special deck. So that's it from me for today. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.